must avoid at all costs putting ourselves into a situationship where we are not respected, we are not valued, we are not cared for because we lack boundaries. Hello you guys, and welcome back to TKC Essentials with me, Kelunta. Today's topic is how to avoid being in a situationship and how to avoid putting yourself in a position to be disrespected, not valued, not taken care of emotionally and spiritually, and really not feeling the love and the care that's supposed to be in a relationship. When we are in a situationship, we are not respected. And what I've learned, and I'm speaking from a female's perspective, I know that there are also women that manipulate as well. But as far as a woman goes, I feel like a man knows how much we care about ourselves as to how far we let them get with us, especially in the dating phase and in the getting to know you phase. It's very, very important that you have boundaries set for yourself first, and you have to believe that you are valuable enough to be pursued. And so today's topic is on situationships. It is a continuation of a series that I am starting on dating and relationships, and the series is titled Dating, Courting, and Situationships. And so I'm going to start out the series with situationships because this is something that we just need to take off the board. We need to avoid because it doesn't lead anywhere and it doesn't have any standard or any grounds. And so in my introduction video, I did share with you guys how I actually know what a situationship is because I've actually been in a situationship. And what a situationship is something that is just not clearly defined. You guys are romantically involved. You guys are doing the do, but there are no clear boundaries. And so how one may end up in a situationship, there are several ways. When we are believers and we are setting these boundaries, we have to not put ourselves in compromising positions. So I put myself in a compromising position, right? This guy worked at my job and I would see him all the time, and he had a really, really good job, and he was so nice and so kind and just everything. And so I was like, I wouldn't mind dating him. And so he asked me out on a date. I don't know if this was the Holy Spirit testing me. I failed the test, obviously, but he asked me out on a date and I was like, yeah, duh. So we went out, and we went out several times. And so I think like on the third date, he was like, hey, I'm really liking you and I know that you're feeling me. Let's just hang out at my place after dinner. And in the back of my mind, I heard the Holy Spirit clear as day saying, no, don't go. Did I listen? No, I didn't listen. And I had been celibate for 6 months, you guys. That was a long time for me, and I was proud of it. And so I was like, hey, I haven't done anything in 6 months. I believe that I'm strong enough to hang out. Like, come on, I'm an adult. I know how to handle myself. I know how to say no. So we get to his place. We're watching a movie. Everything is going good. And he gets a little closer to me. And so he starts talking and he's like, so since we are dating, or since we are getting to know each other, can I get a kiss? Can I get can you relax or whatever? And I was like, well, I don't want to do that because I don't want it to lead to anything. And so he was like, what do you mean by that? Like, we both grown, we can handle ourselves. That we're both grown is just a game. It's a gimmick. Okay. I know we're both grown, so we both need to know how to have boundaries. Right. But I didn't say that though. So he was like, we're both grown, loosen up. Basically, he was saying that. And so I loosened up. I did. And so, I let him put his arms around me. Long story short, it came to where it was time to cross the line. I didn't stop him. I did say that I was practicing celibacy. And his line to that was, you can have sex. It's not a big deal. It's not like I'm going anywhere. Me being, newly saved, not really having concrete boundaries. I gave in and it was terrible. I cried because I don't know if you've ever been saved, but when you actually build a relationship with the Holy Spirit and you find yourself letting God down in any aspect, it does not feel good. And I literally cried. I was thinking about all the vows that I made to God and how I really didn't want to do this. Mind you, we worked together. And so I would see him at work. He would bring me lunch. He would do all of these nice things. But after we had sex, I didn't know what our relationship was, because it became more and more about sex. It was less and less about getting to know me. It was less and less about preparing for the future or anything like that. The relationship actually became very dull. And by me being saved, sex was not really on my agenda. It was just something that, I felt like was a part of the relationship. And so, long story short, or later on down the line, I ended up meeting another guy. And so I went on a date with this other guy. And so that's why it's not really good to date when you don't have clear boundaries. So I went on a date with this other guy. And so as we were on the date and as we were talking, he had some qualities that I liked. He was interested in God. He was interested in my relationship with God. He even asked me about my tattoo that says Deuteronomy 28 and what does it mean? And so we went over the Bible scriptures and everything like that. And so he asked me, was, I in a relationship, or how is that going? And the first thing popped up in my mind was the guy from work. And I was like, I don't think I'm in a relationship, but I do have a situation going on. And I was like, I'm in a situationship. And so that kind of brings us to the topic of what a situationship is. It is literally something that is just not clearly defined. You guys could be going out. You guys could be hanging out. You guys could be doing events together. You guys are having sex. You guys are everything but heading somewhere. And a guy will play along as long as you allow him to. And the whole time he's stringing you along, he's hanging out with you. As soon as a woman comes up that he's interested in, he can easily drop you and dash on to the next woman, because men don't catch feelings the same way that a woman does, and they don't hold on to those feelings the same way that a woman does. We are looking for safety when we are with a man. We are looking for commitment when we are talking to exclusivity. That's the word I'm looking for. Exclusivity. If that is not defined, then honey, you are in a situationship. If it is not defined that you are my woman and we are heading to courtship, we are heading to marriage, if you are not discussing the next 10 years in a relationship that you consider to be your man, honey, you are in a situationship. If this man is having sex with you and he's not providing anything for you or making you feel safe in any way, you are in a situationship. And I know so many people that end up in these situationships. They think it's a relationship, and a man will go on and on and on Usually 9 times out of 10, a man will not leave a relationship. The woman will end up leaving because she's not feeling valued. And a man is not going to value above the extent that you value yourself. They may value you in the beginning, but as soon as they see that you have a lack of standards and value for yourself, they will have sex with you and they will leave you. And if you're not smart, they will leave you with children. You don't ever want a man to leave you with children. You want them to leave you at least with a house, at least with some keys to a car. Don't have him leave you with nothing but children, because he's not going to respect you. He might take care of his kids, but as far as you goes, he has no respect for you because it wasn't established in the beginning. I have seen PhD women getting played by a man that does not even have his GED. Christian women are some of the easiest women to manipulate. I don't know what it is, but if she is not rooted and grounded in her boundaries and in her value, and she is just doing this for a show, honey, these men will pick up on that so fast and they will devalue you in the quickness. So you have to really be clear on your boundaries and what you expect from a man. I see so many smart and beautiful women ending up in these situationships because they don't know how to set boundaries and how to stand by them. In this hookup culture, we often think that we're dating because we're going out to dinner or to maybe a movie and we are being romantically involved with a person. We think that that's our partner, or we think that that's our man. No, honey, if he has not said it out of his mouth, I am your man, you are my woman, and we are heading towards marriage, then he's not taking you serious. He's not taking you serious. He is taking you on a ride. So this type of behavior, just going out without clear boundaries, just hanging out and giving him all of your goodness, all of your energy, and he's just sapping it. He's just taking it all in because you're giving it to him willy-nilly. You're not having a boundary within yourself to say, hey, look, I'm reserving my beauty. To be around me is a gift. To be in my presence is a gift. And if you don't see yourself as a gift, he's not going to see you as a gift. He is going to see you as something that he can have fun with and toss away when he's done. All right. So we don't ever want to be that girl. As women, if we want a high value man, we have to see ourselves as high value. The only way to avoid putting yourself in a situationship is knowing your boundaries. Sex should not be involved unless you're trying to be a baby mama and have a baby daddy, because as soon as you start to have sex, everything gets blurry. I don't care what you say, it gets blurry. Christians even fall into this trap. The ones who are heading towards marriage do fall into this trap as well. I will be going over that in my courting video on how to avoid that. But right now we're going to talk about situationships and how a situationship could never lead to marriage. It could never lead to commitment. This type of behavior is when you have no clarity, no goals in mind, and feelings are involved. Lines are blurred and labels are non-existent. Usually, the term "we're talking" defines a situationship. You ever heard someone say, "Oh yeah, but we talking"? Talking about what? It can't be about marriage. It can't be about commitment. What are we talking about? And usually that is in the Black community. I don't really hear about white people saying, "Oh, we're talking." But either way it goes, that whole term "we're talking" is just a mask for saying I'm in a situationship. If y'all are not talking about purpose and making plans for the future, then honey, y'all not talking about anything. Just wasting each other's time and energy. And don't think that this has an age range. Don't think that the older a woman is, the more mature she is. No, you got grown old women falling into these situationships, getting played. You got PhD women getting played by GED men, or a man that doesn't even have his GED. And it is because of a knowing thing. A man will know if you have self-respect. A man will know if he can cross your boundaries. What men do is they push the button to see how far you will allow them to go. He's going to take advantage of your naivety, being naive. He's going to take advantage of your lack of boundaries. You can be all gorgeous and beautiful, but if you don't have self-value and you don't value yourself enough to walk away, even he could be the finest, the most richest, he could be the most this, that, the third. If you don't have enough guts and enough boundaries inside of you to walk away from a situation that is not conducive for you, then honey, you are low value. You are a low value type of woman, and men pick up on that. According to Google, a situationship, yes, Google has it on there. And you guys, I've been using this term like when that guy asked me about that relationship situation, I said I was in a situationship, and that word was never being used. I said, wow, I'm in a situationship. Like, what in the world is that? And, you know, I just left it at that. Like, I never really went back to it or just thought about it until recently. Like I said, when I asked that question on Instagram, and I thought, I was like, oh snap, I remember I was in one. And this is so crazy how it dawned on me. But anyway, Google now has it on there. And so a situationship is a romantic or sexual relationship that is not considered to be formal or established. And so the sentence that they have to explain it in sentence terms, it says, I'm trying to turn our situationship into something more serious. A joke. Can you? That's what Google has on there. I'm trying to turn my situationship into something more serious. So imagine this, right? You meet a good guy. You meet this really, really kingly type of guy, right? He sees you as a queenly type of woman from the outside, right? So he approaches you, right? So high value men usually approach a high value woman. High value men like things that are exclusive, that no one else has had before. Right? That's why they get the most exclusive cars, the most exclusive homes and things like that, because they like these nice luxury things, because it's like this macho ego thing. Like they want to be the first with it. They want to have the only one with this. So basically, when he first saw you at appearance wise, he was like, wow, ooh, I can't wait to get that. Well, I know the homeboy is gonna be like, ooh, dog, like she got any friends, bro, whatever. So, and beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So if he sees you as beautiful and he's a high value man, best believe he sees something that could be of value to him. But as soon as he approaches you and from your conversation, you are not respecting yourself and you are not speaking highly of yourself, his value of you went from here to here, because a man is going to be a reflection of you. So he does not want to be with someone who does not value themselves, because that will speak about his self and his self-worth and his value towards himself. When a man approaches you, first he's approaching you of your look. That's off rip. Second, he's approaching you to see if you could possibly be the mother of his children and the wife that stewards his home. But if you are lacking internal respect, gift. It is something that is internal, something that he can't give to you. She can't get to you. Your mama can raise you that way, but it is something that you have to give to yourself because of the way you value yourself. If you don't have that mentality, I don't care how fine you are. I don't care what college you graduated from. I don't care how many degrees you have. If you don't value yourself enough to say no, to set a boundary, and to don't talk down about yourself, period. Like, I know it's so easy when a man gives us a compliment. We're like, oh, well, that ain't nothing. Or, okay, say for instance, he compliments your attire. Oh, this whole thing. Or he compliments the way that you handle a certain situation. Oh, really? I usually don't know how, it's just a way that I don't even like to put my own self down. So, and I'm practicing not doing that. So I can't really come up with a way, but you know what I mean? Like, you downplay your qualities. Men can pick up on that. And a high value man wants a high value woman that he can rely on to run the kingdom while he is out. And it's not to put the man on the pedestal. That's another thing. Don't ever put the man on the pedestal. You are his masterpiece. You are God's handiwork. Okay, a man don't want you to put him on a pedestal. He really don't. He wants you to be on that pedestal. He wants to place you on that pedestal. But if you steady chasing him and trying to get him to like you, he's going to be running the other way. Because men enjoy the chase. They enjoy coming after you. So anyways, back to my story. Like I was saying, a kingly man, he comes up to you because he thinks you are a queen. And as soon as he tries to see where your boundaries are by trying to have sex with you and you give in, no matter how hard he tries, he is just literally trying to see if you have boundaries. You have some men who are just about sex, and you tell him no and he leaves, then that's all he wanted. That's all he saw in you. And maybe that's all his limited mind could see. You can't see past just sex. Then that wasn't the one for you anyway, honey. So it's okay. Let him go. Toodles, deuces, goodbye. But the one who has morals, he is literally testing your morals. He is literally testing your standards to see how far he can get, honey. That's what he's doing. And when you fall for it, and when you don't have a boundary, it, like I said, it doesn't come with age. I have seen grown women fall for the trap, and I'm just like, yo, he's testing you. He really liked you in the beginning, but you gave in too easy. You gave into his every beck and call, and he didn't even do anything to deserve it or to earn it. Men want to earn. Let me tell you something. Men value what they invest in. If he is not invested in you, and the best way to get a man to value you is to have him invest in you emotionally. Once you get his emotions involved, it's not about material things. Yes, money as well, but you don't want to be a gold digger. You can handle your own bills. Get him to invest in you in something that is more than just collateral. Get him to invest time, emotion. Like, that's what we need to get him to invest. It gets to a point to where it goes past how you look. Proverbs 11:22 says, as a ring of gold in a swine's snout, a swine is a pig, so is a beautiful woman who is without discretion. Her lack of character mocks her beauty. You wonder why these beautiful, gorgeous women out here can't keep a man. Halle Berry can't keep a man. Steve Harvey's daughter, what's her name? The Harvey girl. I forgot her name. Lori Harvey. Can't keep a man. Come on, I done seen some beautiful women. Can't keep a man. Men treat you how you behave. They could care less about what you say. Actions speak louder than words. I know it's cliche. But it's cliche for a reason. Most cliches have a meaning. And another thing I hate to see in these situationships are children being birthed from these situationships. Then the parents end up hating each other because there was no respect for each other in the beginning to begin with. There was no respect. And you cannot build something that was not built on a solid foundation. If it was built on a shaky foundation, honey, it's not going to last. You cannot turn a situationship into a committed relationship because the man has already in his mind checked out. He don't see you as wifey. He checked out the moment you didn't have standards and you didn't have morals. He will get you pregnant. It's sad to say, he will get you pregnant. And then you got sometimes some women think a baby's going to keep a man, so they try to set him up to get pregnant. Babies don't keep men. Chasing a man don't keep a man. The only way a man stays is if he wants to stay or he is a clown and he's not looking to do anything but be taken care of. But on my channel, I'm only speaking to women who want high value men. If he's really regal and high value, he's not even gonna have sex with you too long. He might get it, that's it, but he's not gonna string you along for the ride because he ain't got time for that. He ain't got time to be stringing you along and doing all that. He ain't got time for that. But if you get a little joker, you know what I'm saying, somebody who want to just, he'll do it as long as you allow him to. These men that want to try to move in and try to leech off of you, that's just between you and that person. But if you are looking for a high value man that is looking to build a kingdom with a queen, honey, you're not going to find it in a situationship. Okay. So like I said, children are birthed from these situationships. Then the parents end up hating each other. And because there was no respect to begin with, and now the child has to suffer. Now you got a child that you brought into this world. The man don't want to be with you no more. He done moved on. So now you finna try to make his life a living hell and the child's life a living hell. Harassing him. Especially if he gets another woman, especially if he moves on. Oh, he a deadbeat this, or he's that, he's this, he's that. But it wasn't like that when you was trying to have sex with him. It wasn't like that when you was trying to get a baby by him. And it goes both ways. She wasn't like that when you was trying, men do it too. But I see a lot of women that try to put the man on child support. They want to hold back the child when you guys never had anything serious to begin with. It was nothing from the jump. Don't try to make something out of it when you know better. And if you don't know better, honey, if you are watching this, you're going to learn better. So if you are in a situationship right now, do everyone a favor and strap it up. Strap it up. I mean, I get it. Sometimes we fear being alone, but if you don't want to be with you, what makes you think he wants to be with you or she wants to be with you? Men respect action and boundaries. They want to earn your body. Men are hunters and they get a thrill from the challenge. Let him prove himself to you. Men value what they invest in, okay? Us women, we seek security. So let him secure you by investing in you. I promise he will see you as valuable. So in order to be valued by a man, you must begin to value yourself. Get to know you. Stop running from you. Get to know your flaws. Get to know your shortcomings. Ask the Holy Spirit to reveal you to you. Okay? Trust me. There is an amazing queen that is on the inside of you that is crying to be seen, felt, and heard. Okay? The Bible talks about a woman of virtue. Proverbs 31:10 says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies." And this is a husband talking about his wife. Virtue is having or showing high moral standard. You gotta up your standards, my love. You gotta up your standards. It's like moral excellence, conformity to a standard of right, morality. And so it is the Holy Spirit who enhances the virtues within in us. These virtues are prudence, which is wisdom, temperance, which is moderation of desire, fortitude, which is courage, and justice, which is righteousness. And so in order to really become like a virtuous woman and that a woman that men do desire, you do need the Holy Spirit. We also need the Holy Spirit for discernment. This goes for both men and women. So you want to get a man that has the Holy Spirit and discernment of the Holy Spirit. I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, but it goes both ways. You guys, I have been studying this for a while now, and I know for a fact that a high value man is looking for a woman with virtue, morals, and standards. Come on, he wants you to run the kingdom. He wants you to be able to run the kingdom while he's out working and doing what he has to do. He's looking for a queen that is capable. But first, if you give in, if you are a booty call, he know you can't run no kingdom. And if you want to know more about the virtuous woman and the woman of folly, the silly woman, read Proverbs. It's all up and through Proverbs. So I would like for you guys to also check out Pastor R.C. Blake's. He is wonderful. I'm going to link his YouTube channel below. He gives a good perspective on men from a man's perspective. And I've actually learned a lot from him. I've been following him for a long time now, and he is becoming increasingly more popular as his message gets straight to the point. Also, check out my second YouTube channel, which is Kelunta's Essentials. That's where I go over more health and fitness. I haven't posted over there in quite a while, but I will be getting back to that channel soon. Stay away from people like Derek Jackson, y'all. When I was learning about dating and relationships, I stayed away. My discernment, the discernment from the Holy Spirit, never allowed me to listen to Derek Jackson. I just knew he was a fake from the jump. So you gotta have discernment of the Holy Spirit. So if you like this content and if you would like to know more, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. It is free and it is an easy way to support your girl and to support this channel. My next topic will be on dating. I do have a lot more to say about situationships, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on to dating. I may do a bonus video where I compile everything together, and whatever I left out in one topic, I'll put it in that bonus video. I do plan on doing a bonus in regards to singleness and why it's nothing wrong with it and why it's actually important to be single for a while, especially after you get out of a situationship. And so we'll go over that in that video. Make sure you check out the videos that I mentioned. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been in a situationship or know someone who is or has, and what did you learn from this video, and what are you going to do to get yourself out of the situationship that you may be in right now? It is highly unlikely that you can turn a situationship into anything purposeful or serious. So thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, we are in this world, but we're not of it. We are in this culture, but we rise above it. Until next time, family. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I pray that you guys have a wonderful weekend. See you next Friday. Bye.